Hello everybody and welcome to another Neverness to Everness video. This time is another showcase video featuring Sakiri, this little goblin, demon thing, I don't know, she's got a horn. But yeah, we've got the cute little chibi character. But yeah, she's not all that cute when it comes to combat. She's got this giant goblin hammer thing. Like, look at that thing. But yeah, we're going to take a look at her skills, show off her animations, and talk about the character, Sakiri. So Sakiri is an incantation buff character who does do some damage. We've only really seen DPS characters thus far in these videos if you've been watching all of them up till now. But look at this cute little goblin with her milk. I have a 3-year-old and I'm imagining my 3-year-old running around with a hammer and it's terrifying. But with Sakiri, we've got Kiramaru Headbutt as her basic attack, where she swings Kiramaru, that goblin hammer thing, and does damage. Pretty simple. But if you hold down on her basic attack, she enters eating mode with Kiramaru, where she can move around while riding Kiramaru, and she pulls in and devours weak enemies during this time, which takes time to digest each devoured enemy. We'll show that off in a second, but she mounts him, she's able to move, and it opens its mouth and pulls in targets, which is good for like CC, I guess. It destroys movable objects and takes 180 seconds to digest each devoured enemy, with only one target digested at a time. 180 seconds doesn't make a lot of sense, I know. Becomes full when the number of enemies being digested reaches the limit, remaining movable but unable to pull in or devour enemies. You release the basic attack to exit that mode. And then Swallow is the plunge attack, and then she's got her critical riposte, which deals incantation damage and reduces break. But let's check out the heavy attack animation. You go for a ride. You're able to suck in enemies while singing a little jingle. That's something. Here is her basic attack animation. It's hammer time. Okay. And then her ability, her skill, is Devour Whole, which you press to activate. Kiramaru opens its mouth, pulling in nearby enemies, more CC, and then Kiramaru inflates and knocks down the enemy, providing more CC. And then there's Gravity Eater, which you hold down, and then Kiramaru opens its mouth, pulling in nearby enemies, then bites through the ground, devouring the gravity in that area, levitating enemies there. And it is not effective against more powerful targets like bosses. So let's check out that animation. If you just click it, she sucks them in and does the hammer time. Whoa! And then if you hold it down, it does a little bit of a longer suck and then creates this gravity well, providing CC to smaller enemies, I guess you could say. Lastly, we've got, I keep wanting to call her Kiramaru now, we've got Feast of Gluttony. No escaping this time. Kiramaru spits out a large amount of gravity slurry from above, dealing 6 instances of incantation damage to an area, applies strong gravity to the enemy's hit, and then pressing them heavily into the ground, which is not effective against bosses. It prevents suppressed enemies from moving for a period of time. So lots of CC and gobbling. Her intro skill is Squash, comes in, does damage, incantation damage to an area. Then we've got the skill Can I Eat This, which increases dot taken by the target by 25% for each type of dot effect while in scorched state, up to 100%. And then we've got Impish Trick, which this character is a little imp, a little goblin, which increases the team's attack by 30% of Sakiri's base attack for 20 seconds after casting her ultimate Feast of Gluttony. So pretty good base attack boost to everybody excluding Sakiri. So you'll want to use your rotation, use your ultimate once everybody's CC'd, swap out to a damage dealer, and then deal a bunch of damage. Now we are going to go and charge up her ultimate so we could show off that animation, and then we'll wrap this up. Whoa! Alright, so we're going to show off a little bit of her combat, charge up her ult so we could show off that animation. And yeah, we'll go from there. I really can't wait until my new PC comes in. It'll be here with more than ample time before the game actually releases. but I'm going to be getting way better performance, which I'm very excited for. Let's gobble up the enemies here. How does this work? Devour. I devoured one. Can I devour this dude? Alright, don't really know how that works, but it looks goofy. I'm kind of surprised that she is not more of a... I mean, she is a support character. It would be hilarious if she was strictly like a DPS or a burst DPS character, because she's just tiny and has this giant hammer, and that's amusing in of itself. But here we should be able to get her ultimate charged up, and then we'll pop that off before we wrap things up with this character showcase. I'm curious if anybody's made it through all of these videos, who they are most interested in pulling for thus far, if they've got any favorites or anything. My favorite, design-wise at least, is the Lacrimosa, and I haven't gotten my hands on her too much, only in the prologue really. So let's pop her ult. Evil small child, deal big damage. Like, riding her thing is so funny. I wish you could make it go fast. That's gonna basically wrap it up for our time with Sakiri and her hammer. I don't know who the character actually is, if we're playing as this little goblin or if we're playing as the hammer being held by a little goblin. But let me know what you think of Sakiri down in the comments below. She's pretty cute. Cute little thing. But yeah, standard banner character. Curious if anybody is really gunning for her. I hope that her boo-boo feels better on her knee. And I hope you're enjoying these videos thus far. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like. It's greatly appreciated. Subscribe for future Neverness to Everness content. A lot more coming, as much as I could possibly get out before the beta is over. Got some more character showcases. I've got some pool videos. As much as I can possibly do up until the game is finished. I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.